Hi. I hadn't quite got myself set up yet. How are you? I'm trying to find where the light is. So, I'm doing a business breakthrough retreat with Bernice. Well, retreat. I'm doing an online one at home, and we have to do certain tasks. Where's my camera? My camera's here. And the things we have to do is do a have to do a my story. So I thought I'd just let you know a bit about my story. This crazy vet who's not in practice, who's always wandering around in parks, in yachts, and going to fun things, and how she got here and what she's doing online. So Emma Davis, veterinarian. I am a career coach, and I am a advocate for veterinarians, pretty much. And so my story is that I never thought that I could be a vet. I kind of think I wanted to be a vet, but I didn't have any self-belief. Had a lot of family trauma in the early years that I guess shaped how I thought about myself. And although I was an intelligent little girl, I didn't understand that life could be what you wanted it to be, and felt very limited by my own thoughts, and definitely held myself back. So thankfully some key people believed in me along the way, and spoke into my world. And so I have a true belief about speaking into other people's worlds, about how a few words of encouragement can actually help other people and have a dramatic impact on their world, because that's been my experience. So yep, I never thought I could be a vet, and then a teacher at my first degree, when I was doing a horse degree, said, why don't you become a vet? And her validation of me spoke to my heart, and spoke to something inside of me that was, I said straight away, I don't think I can, I'm not smart enough. And she said, I think you can. And that simple validation from Bridget, a veterinarian down at Albury, who I still stay in touch with, spoke to something in me and sparked something, and I tried. And there you go, I became a vet. Years later, I went to do a course in Newmarket in England. I was a horsey girl, still a horsey girl, and went to Newmarket and applied for all of the vet schools, and I, lo and behold, got into vet. Did vet at Sydney University for 5 years, and was always going to be a horse vet. That's been my practice. My you know, my heart, my reason for getting into practice was horses, and yeah, still love horses now. I just mainly feed them. I would like to ride them more, but I have a lovely farm for horses now. So that's a bit about how and why I became a vet. Animals helped me get through my childhood. I really resonated with horses and with dogs in particular, and I hung out with them a lot. So I have a heart for animals, and I have a heart for the impact that the healing that animals can bring to humans. So that's why I became a vet. And then I was in practice as a vet after Newmarket. Went to vet school for 5 years in Sydney. It was tough times, made some amazing friends. Veterinarians are incredible people, so made an amazing network and started being fascinated by these people that became veterinarians. I felt quite separate from them, even though I was one of them, and dealt with a lot of imposter syndrome that, yeah, have now learned how to manage, but is definitely a reality in high achievers. So from Sydney University, I went out and practiced for 5 years in mainly equine practices and mixed animal practices, and I loved it and I hated it, and I loved it and I hated it, and it was just a wild ride, and it was really, really tough. And for someone who had not yet mastered their mindset, it was really difficult, and at times it was quite dangerous for me, because as we all know, there's access to yeah, to euthanasia solution and stuff like that. So it tested me in every way possible, and I loved helping, and I was terrified when things went wrong. so I can really feel for vets out there. I was also going backwards financially. I wasn't skilled in negotiating yet, and I didn't know how to advocate for myself in that, and so I had 2 degrees worth of debt and was going backwards financially. So, and I also have always been very political and interested in how things work. So I did help Charles Sturt University get their vet school up and started between finishing vet and starting in practice. I wrote them a submission to government to start that vet school, and when that got up, it just really firmed up my belief that one person can make a change. Basically, you know, activity and action makes change and can bring around amazing change. So I've had a really interesting experience. From there, needed to earn some money and was quite political, so I thought I'll join the Department of Agriculture, and I had a fantastic career there for like 12 and a half years, and I've done some amazing things there, travelled the world, auditing and representing Australia and doing some amazing things. So but through all of this experience, nearly 20 years in the vet field, I've just been fascinated by vets. And so Veterinary Careers was born of this fascination about 4 years ago, and I was kind of sick of hearing rhetoric from people that were not vets that you know, vets weren't valuable, vets would do it for nothing, vets would, you know what I mean, they didn't need to be paid, and then, you know, hearing vets say things like you can't earn money as a vet. So it just sparked something in me that hang on, these are just stories that we're telling ourselves, and why don't we change the story? So that's what Veterinary Careers was born of 4 years ago, and was my sideline, and now I have both launched as a career coach 12 months ago, and I'm absolutely loving how I can help people, how all of my experience and knowledge and training can help people. I just love it. It lights me up and it's amazing. And also Veterinary Careers is now a business, and the wonderful Ruby, who's watching at the minute, Ruby's part of our business, and we are helping vets understand their value. We are helping them understand their worth and their place and their multiple roles in society. And yeah, it's my passion to see the vet profession thrive. And yeah, so I've gone from not feeling like I could be a vet through being a vet, through mastering all the skills of, you know, basic vet science. I didn't specialize in anything. I just stayed until I was competent and confident, and I enjoyed it. Actually really loved vetting when I was doing it, and I vetted for 6-7 years on the weekends when I was in government as well. So yeah, I've got an interesting range of experience. Bernice, thank you for making me do this. Who am I? My story breakthrough retreat, no, business breakthrough challenge, and I will leave it there. It's a bit about me, a bit about what drives me, a bit about why I keep showing up on your news feed